last couple of weeks been a balance of saying goodbye and
Yeah,
you got a lot of guys that holes to fill?
yeah. No, I talked to Dylan Ennis this morning, and he's in New York working out, and talked to Jordan Bell this morning. He's busy with his preparation. Dylan didn't pick up Brooks. That's not amazing. So, but no, I've stayed in touch with them. We got Chris back on campus. He had the surgery, and so it's been a crazy 2 weeks. But those guys, I really feel good for all of them. I think that the three guys who left early, two guys that were seniors. Casey has made a decision for himself, and that's what we want. And I haven't talked to Cavell yet, but he wants to look at some things. So it's what we encourage them to do what's best for them. And I sure hope it works out for all of them.
Were you guys expecting all three of those guys to leave?
Yeah, no. Dylan Brooks and Tyler, I knew before the season, that they were going to leave. Jordan, until the run at the end, I wasn't sure what he was going to do, but you play that well for that many games late, I can't blame him. So that would be the only surprise. And in Casey, I knew he was, down when, I made a decision to go with Peyton to start. And so, I wasn't surprised by any of them, no.
Going into the season, these guys may be leaving. You got a couple of guys graduate. So you had maybe time to start planning for this as far as recruiting?
Well, it's hard because, when we signed the three early, we were full technically, and you never know about injury. If say Dylan's foot didn't heal properly, or Tyler would have got hurt, or anything like that, you don't know how things are going to work out. So it's pretty hard to sign too many, But we did have, those guys were straight up with this and their families. They both put their name in a year ago, and so it was pretty obvious if they had a nice year, they were going to leave. And so Dylan was Player of the Year in the league, and Tyler was Mr. March, or whatever they called him. So so they both finished really strong. So we kind of anticipated that. We've been recruiting all year. Tony and Mike, Kevin, they've done a good job getting us in position with some guys, and we anticipate we'll sign a couple here late. We're also, working very hard to, with the good finished final, Elite Eight and the Final Four, next fall's really important for us. But I think we took advantage of the Elite Eight by signing Troy Brown and VJ and Abu. I like that start right there, but we do need to finish it here in the spring.
Does your recruiting pitch change at all now that your roster looks so different?
Sure, it got a lot more playing time to sell. It was hard, recruiting people because, they looked at our roster and Dylan Ennis and Chris were the only two that we knew we were going to lose for sure, and so yeah, it's a balancing act there. I know a lot of schools, go through it every year. Kentucky's, and they have to sell a whole new team every year. But it's the first time that we've had to go through it, so it's a little different.
You guys have had, throughout your tenure here, you've had a couple, what would you consider, I guess, rebuilding, or just kind of new eras where a lot of guys leave, new guys come in. How is it different now that, the program's obviously in a much different spot than it was when you first took over?
It's not really that different. We are getting into homes a lot easier, and people, I don't know, you go to a Final Four, so everybody, at least picks up the phone. And so it is a little different in that regard. But, it's still about trying to find the right group of guys that'll play together and work together. And we're going to be younger next year than we've been in a while, which is kind of exciting from a coaching standpoint. And I like our talent, the talent of the three guys that we've got signed and the guys that we're looking at, the talent level is really good. And I think that's the most important thing. But the second most important thing is usually experience. We're going to be a little short there.
You kind of find that you're able to now kind of build a team that would more suit like your ideal mold in the sense of you guys, you're being able to get into more homes, and so you can recruit guys that fit your system versus just trying to get whoever.
Yeah, I mean, we can adjust the way we play. There's a certain philosophy that we have, but we can change the way we play. That's why we recruit versatile players. I guess that maybe to answer your question, we look for versatility, guys that can play more than one spot so that we can play different ways. With Chris and Jordan out there last year, we played big, and then late with Cavell and Jordan, we played big, but we've traditionally had a small lineup out there, which has been really good for us offensively. At times it's been a challenge on the boards. But no, I think we recruit versatile players who can play multiple positions, which gives us a little bit more versatility, which allows us as coaches to play different ways, and which is always great. You can match up differently and try to find matchups that give you an advantage.
What is your message to the few remaining guys, just because this roster and this team is going to look so different?
Oh, it's no different. Work. The off season is where guys really can change their game. Everybody, talks about Jordan playing well at the end, but his game really changed from April to October 1 of last year. He put a lot of time in, and Tyler, those guys, I've got absolutely no problem with the work ethic of our team. The guys come to the gym, and they're in there all the time, which don't have to prod them or beg them or anything else. They like to be in the gym. So, our message is going to be, work hard and, establish yourself, earn your time, and I think we'll have a lot of guys do that. Peyton, Keith we've got to get through his knee issues, but Paul and Michael have been working hard, and Roman's always worked hard. So, I think we'll have a core group. We'll be okay there.
But being younger going into next year, do you do more with Peyton this offseason since guys will be on him more for leadership next year?
Not really. The NCAA kind of limits all that, but no, his leadership will be important. Like I said, we will be young, and like I said, it presents some challenges from a coaching perspective, but it also, gives you an opportunity to mold some guys, and I go back a couple years when we had Jordan was a freshman and Dylan was a freshman, Casey, Ahmad. We had 4 freshmen that year, and they were a lot of fun to work with. They have the highs and lows that some freshmen have, but they were a lot of fun to work with. So you get that, excitement from the first time doing something, and a lot of time those guys are really easy to work with because they don't have an idea of what it should be. They've never been on the road. So you're kind of molding them, trying to get them to, this is the way we do things, and sometimes that can be a lot of fun, and a lot of times, that gets something going real quick.
How does Cage and Paul White fit into your development of the team next year? How do you feel like they'll help you?
Well, they give us some size. Both of them were kind of banged up this year, and so we didn't get to spend as much time with them as we'd liked. But they're healthy now, and they'll both give us some minutes next year. That'll be determined, obviously, by competition and practice, but they'll both play for us.
Is there any sort of a fear factor to coach right now with the unknowns of you've got 4 openings? I'm sure you've probably got some idea of who might fill it, but without anything official, I thought that.
Oh, there's a fear factor. If I knew we had everybody back, it just it's a different type of anticipation, than You know, last year was, could we get the guys to take a step? You know, would they be complacent? You know, could we get them to take a step? And then we had Dylan with the foot problem. You know, so there's never you know, just a gradual step. You're always concerned about something. You know, trying to get them to take a step, trying to make them play as a team. You know, we didn't move the ball as well as we should have in that North Carolina game. Still bothers me. We'd done a pretty good job moving the ball, and we didn't do nearly as good a job. We had some guys go out of what we'd been doing and got a little optimistic about what they should be doing. You know, so we made some optimistic passes, and we made some optimistic shots that that weren't very good. So, you know, you're always worried about something.
But with the roster, I'm saying, in terms of, you look and say, hey, man, if this guy that we maybe expect doesn't come, or this person, we can have or we can have 13. I mean, is there?
Oh, we're not going to have 13. We want to save some, you know, for next fall. You know, so we won't have 13, but. You know, like this year we had 12 and we had 2 redshirted, which is about right, you know, because you need at least 10 in case somebody goes down with injury. But, you know, I thought all 10 could help us, and so I thought it was pretty good this year.
What was it like watching the championship game? I mean, I'm sure you've watched many before, but knowing that you guys were just so close.
Oh, it was hard. You know, the teams kind of played like North Carolina and us did. You know, both teams played really hard, but didn't play real well. You know, I mean, and I thought we played extremely hard. I mean, I've got no problem with our effort in that game. I mean, to stay even on the boards and compete like we did, I have no problem with how hard we played. I just didn't think we played smart enough. And I think, you know, Mark Few's probably thinking the same thing, and you know, Roy won the thing, and North Carolina won it, but they didn't play their A game, but they did play really hard, and that's what it sometimes get to. You're trying so hard that, you know, the goal as a coach is just to try to keep them to stay within themselves, and I mean that's throughout the tournament. That's just not in the finals, but going back each game, you know, let's play like we're supposed to play, like we've been playing. You know, it was good enough to win 30 games. Let's stay with it, and that's kind of your challenge there. And everybody tries to do, you know, one more thing to win that championship, and gets everybody out of rhythm a little bit.
Coach, did you talk to Cavell as soon as the season ended about, you know, his progress and development? And
Yeah, no, we talked with all the players, and so I met with all of them, and then I've been out quite a bit. We just got done with an evaluation period, got back late last night, and we've got one more weekend where we can be gone. So been out quite a bit, but no, I met with all the players when the season was over.
What did you tell him? Are you happy with his progression?
Yeah, no, I liked the way he finished the season. I thought he did a great job.
You mentioned in Phoenix that it was going to take a while for the hurt of the Final Four game to kind of go away. Have you seen that process start yet at this point?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's not just this year. Every year's hard to end the season. You know, I mean, unless you're North Carolina, you're losing on a loss. You know, and that sticks with you for 6 months till you start again. And so, you know, it's going to bother all the players, you know, all the guys for a while. But like I said, at some point in time, they'll look back and go, you know, we had a lot of fun. We worked pretty hard, and we did win 33 games. We did get a conference championship. We had a lot of fun. So, you know, that will set in, but it's, you know, there was a lot of hurt in that locker room, and still when I talk to the guys, you know, what if, you know, that's going to be there for a while yet.
When you guys started this season with the experience you guys had coming back, it was a pretty kind of vocal goal if we want to get back to at least where we were at last season, 8 and whatnot. It never came from you.
I didn't talk to that. You know, I didn't hear much of that. You know, you know, we spent a lot of time trying to get the guys to focus in on that day. You know, we don't have all the slogans and everything, but you know, we try to get the guys just to focus in on that day. You know, how can we get better? You know, and if you're doing that, then it's hard to look 6 months down the line because you start October 1 and we played April 1. So I mean, you want to keep them trying to focus on the little things we need to do to get there. And you know, we had a lot of, you know, with Dylan Brooks, you know, not playing to start the season. You know, we had a lot of things to work through early.
Well, that's kind of what I was going to transition to, is you guys have a lot of talent for next year, but not, I mean, a lot of inexperience. So does that kind of make things easier to keep guys focused in on that?
It should, yeah, it should. The freshmen and the new guys should be focused in on today, you know, and this week, you know, getting better this week. So, and the guys hear me say all the time, you know, if we were playing well November 10th, well, what the heck would we do, you know, till March, you know? And if we're playing good in December, and you know, we still got 3 months to get better, you know. So it's not going to be perfect in November and December. It never is. It's a building process, and you just want to keep getting better, and you got to keep the guys focused on that because it is a long season, and you know, there's always ups and downs in the season. There hasn't been an undefeated team since '76, so you better think about getting better each and every day out.
Last year you had Casey behind Peyton and Tyler could run point. Next year, at least right now, it's just Peyton. Is there a guy that's signed in Troy or BJ that can kind of be that ball handler? Or do you have to go out and find a?
Oh, you know, we'll have to wait and see. You know, I don't make any guesses on guys coming in. You know, there's some good ball handlers there. You know, so we'll just, you know, kind of wait and see how it all shakes out. But you know, Peyton will have a load, you know, to bear early, and then just see how the, you know, the competition goes, how the season goes.
You mentioned knowing that Casey was a little bit down after the lineup change, but were you surprised at all that he left?
No, I wasn't surprised. You know, we had talked about it a couple times during the season. You know, finishing strong, and then, you know, talk about after the season because I knew what his thought process was, and so no, I wasn't surprised.
Do you think any of the other three might consider holding off on the agent just to give them a?
No, that they've already the three guys.
Yeah.
No, they're all gone.
But you didn't think that? Did you think any of them might hold off? On
Oh,
the
no,
agent,
no,
give themselves
no,
a
no,
drop?
no. Like I said, I knew Dylan and Tyler were going to go, you know, and the only one that even talked about it was Jordan. But, you know, I couldn't advise him to come back. As bad as I wanted to, you know, I mean, he finished awfully strong, and he felt like it was his time, and so I supported him all the way.
When you say you knew they were going to go, did they tell you before the year, or you're just saying it because of the fact
No,
that
yeah, they didn't say, you know, because like I said, injuries, whatever.
coaching sense told you though that these guys, this is the last year.
Well, it was more than my coaching sense. I knew they were going to go, yeah, and anybody could have figured it out. Even a coach could figure it out. So, but no,
One of the big things, you got rebounding to develop a shooter, and then it's this guy, but with such a young group now, developing that next leader, that next Brooks or Bell, whoever it's gonna be, that these guys can rally around. Is that a difficult proposition?
not really. You know, somebody will establish themselves. You know, it might take a while, but you know, I think the leadership qualities come out of necessity sometimes, and you know, Peyton always won. Paul comes from a real winning high school program. Michael Cage, a real winning high school program. So I think those guys will step up. Troy's always won games. VJ's, you know, we try to recruit guys that win, you know, and there's a reason those guys win. So you know, I think that'll come about. Like I said, it may come out of necessity, but somebody will step up.
But it getting so close, what has that done for your intensity level? Like, are you more energized by how last season went going forward, or is it the same? Or
it's the same. You know, you start in your 29th year and, 38th overall. I've always been, I'd like to think I've always been energized, and we definitely don't want to take a step back, which means to keep moving forward, we're going to have a hell of a team, so, and our assistants feel the same way. Winning becomes a habit, and right now we have that habit, and so it would be hard to, not keep moving forward. Now we're going to have to do that with a really young team, which presents, like I said, some challenges, but our expectations don't change.
I feel like the last 2 years, the caliber of recruit you're going after has gone up from what your team has had some success. I mean, you always go after the best, but now you feel like you can actually go there.
Well, I don't always agree with the ratings, per se, and what fits us may not fit another program. Jordan Bell wasn't ranked that high, and Dylan Brooks wasn't ranked that high. Joe Young wasn't ranked that high. Arsalan wasn't ranked that high. EJ wasn't ranked that high. Those old guys were all pretty good players, So, we are on some very talented young men. Now we still got to get them to campus here, and still got to get them, but we're on some guys that I think are pretty talented, regardless of where they're ranked. Belgian Cook wasn't ranked that high. He turned into a pretty good player. So, again, it's the right fit. It's the right work ethic. I go back even further. Kyle Korver wasn't listed on anybody's. He just finished in his 13th, 14th year. Anthony Tolliver wasn't a top 100 guy. Going way back, Mitch Richmond wasn't a top 100 guy. Those guys all turned to be pretty good players. So, whether they're highly ranked or just have great work ethics, we look for guys that fit and, guys that want to be here. That's, that's always what I talk about. And that's why I tell guys if they want to look other places, you got to have both feet in the boat, whether it's your career, marriage, any relationship, you got to have both feet in the boat. And, that's a big part of any team.
When you say that you're having conversations with Ennis and Bell and Brooks, even though he didn't pick up today, what are those conversations like? What are you guys talking about?
Oh, just want to know how their workouts are going. They're all working out, and just letting them know that we, are still here for them. We like all those guys to, to come back. Jordan and Dylan Brooks and those guys to finish their degrees. Dylan Ennis, I want him to finish his master's, so that, we kind of end it with, hey, the door's open to come back this summer whenever you need to come back to finish your degree. But I just want them to know that we're supporting them in their workouts, and Jordan Bell, I joked with him. I said, I'm driving over here to the arena, and usually when I'm driving over, I'm worried about whether you went to class or not, and checking on you to make sure you're where you're supposed to be. And he started laughing, and I said, it's just a little different after 3 years not having you around, And so you spend so much time with those guys, and then, it's just hard just to go cold turkey and not talk to them, after that. So those guys have been a big part of our program, and I still text with a lot of the former players, and a lot of them, obviously, with where we finished this year, stayed in contact a lot more. But like I said, you spend that much time with guys, it's hard just to stop talking to them and not stay in contact with them.
You already hosted a couple players on campus. How do you kind of feel like this?
I didn't hear you.
You guys have already hosted a couple players on campus so far, transfers. How do you kind of feel like this is going so far?
I don't know, what can I say there? I think everything's gone well, but on the recruiting stuff, you can't talk much about it. We just hope it goes our way, but recruiting's, it's not an exact science, and you're never sure what somebody's thinking until they're here. But we've got a good product to sell. We've got great facilities and great support staff. So hopefully, we'll be able to field a team next year.
Would you like to get a couple grad transfers, guys who have played some, to sort of fill that experience?
we have done very well with grad transfers. Going back to J.R. Strobridge was our first, and when we got it going, my very first year, J.R. started shooting the heck out of it, and Olu Ashley was a big part of our second team, and Mike Mosier, Jason Calise really had good senior years here, and now Dylan Ennis. So 5 for 5, you know, that's pretty good on grad transfers, and so you know that's always, you know, one avenue, and it would give us, you know, some experience.
And I asked you this toward the end of the season, and you couldn't really take it in, enjoy it, and realize what you accomplished, but it's over now. You and your staff are one of only 4 staffs left playing in the Final Four, where you've got this program, what it meant to the fans. Have you allowed yourself and your staff to be able to sit back and say, here's what we did, we accomplished this, and take some pride in that and talk about that?
Well, you know, it's like I tell the players, you know, that last one stings a little bit, so it's going to take a while. But no, you know, you're out on the road, you're seeing a bunch of coaches, and you know, all coaches recognize the significance of going to the Final Four, and so, you know, it's nice to have that recognition. I'm sure it's nice for our players, you know, to be recognized for that. But as I told them, I think it'll take years, you know, when you look back, that you'll get the most satisfaction out of it. You know, you'll give it some time, and that's why, you know, winning a championship, you know, like the 39 team did, you know, I mean, those things are etched in stone. But a Final Four is pretty good too, and someday we'll be able to look back and take great pride in it.
You could probably hang a banner.
What's that?
Probably hang a banner or something like
Yeah, that one looks a little lonely up there. They could have made it a little bigger too. My gosh, but you don't even recognize it up there sometimes.
Are you golfing with Coach Kruger again this summer?
You know, we haven't made any plans yet, but I got to get out and start hitting balls here one of these days. But probably be a while for that yet too. So I hope everybody has a great summer, and we'll see you next fall.